Hi, this is a video tutorial for exercise 3. We're going to Adobe Illustrator. We're going to go File, New. We're going to create a new file that is 8 by 10 inches. We only need one artboard, so right now by default I've got it set at 4, but make sure you only have one artboard. We're going to title this file exercise 3, and then I'm going to hit underscore and my first name and last initial. And I'm going to hit OK. I want to see the grid, so I'm going to go up to the View command and hit Show Grid. And I want to lock to grid. I'm going to be drawing with simple shapes. So Snap to Grid. I'm going to get the Rectangle tool. I will draw a rectangle that is, 3 by 3 inches. That, release. By the default, it has a black stroke and a white fill. I'm going to select no stroke up here on the options bar. And I'm going to select a color for this. Well, actually, I'll hold off on the color for just a minute. Because what I'm going to do is I want to save some colors to swatches. Now, our swatches panel, if we look at the panels doc over here, it's right there. I'm going to create a new group just for this exercise. The bottom of the panel, there's a button right here. New color group. I'm going to click on that, and I'm going to name this color group exercise 3. And I'm going to hit OK. I'm going to backtrack that just one step, do it one more time. Again, I'm going to, so I hit Command Z just to undo that. I'm going to select this, hit exercise 3. I am going to switch on convert process to global. And I'll explain what this means a little bit later. So I am going to click that, and I'm going to hit OK. So I am going to select or create my first color. I'm going to just double click on the foreground color here at the bottom of the tools panel. It's my fill, and that accesses the color picker. I'm going to go with a blue color, and I'm going to make it fairly bright. You can use what other color you want, but you're going to use a pair of complementary colors. So my idea is to create blue and orange, and maybe I'll go with kind of a cyan color and a red orange just to make things a little more interesting. So there's my first color. Now I'm looking at hue, saturation, and brightness, so that's value. I'm looking at RGB, which means the color quantities of red, green, and blue in the channels. Don't need to worry about it. And then I'm looking at CMYK, which is the mixture of the inks that would come out of an inkjet printer. I want you to pay attention to K. Your first color, I want it to say 0% K, and I can change that. If yours doesn't say 0% K, just enter in 0 and hit return. Now I'm going to access that again. So I have a cyan color, and it has 0 black in it. K stands for black. I'm going to hit OK there. Now what I'm going to do is I want to save this swatch. I'm going to save rather the foreground color to the swatches panel. So I'm going to just click on this, and I'm going to drag it into here, and you can see there's a little plus sign now. And I'm going to put it right there. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to change the color. So I have that blue color. There it is. It's saved for me. So I'm going to double click on this again, and its complement is going to be a red-orange, about right there. And I am going to make sure that it has 0 black on it. I'm going to hit OK. And now I'm going to take that and I'm going to drag it into the new color group. So now what I'll do is I'll unselect this by clicking on the black arrow tool, clicking off of it, get the rectangle tool again, and draw a second rectangle starting from the lower right corner that is 2 by 2 inches. Let go. And I'm going to select blue for that one. So I just simply then go to the swatches and click blue. So now I have these two colors that I want to work with, and they're always there. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to save this file, save as, exercise 3, hit OK. I'm going to replace mine. These settings are fine, so just hit OK. I'm going to then switch to Photoshop. I'm going to place this file into Photoshop so I can see it as a black and white image. So I will go to File, I will go to New. I'm going to make a file that's 8 by 10 inches, 300 pixels per inch. I'm going to call this exercise 3 underscore Matthew and my last initial. Okay. I am going to place this file, place linked, and I'm going to select the Adobe Illustrator file, and I will hit place, I will hit OK, I'll see it there, I'm going to hit return. What I want to do is see this as black and white. I go to the adjustments panel, just right here, and I find the black and white adjustments layer. Click on that, and you can see it's a pretty close match to the colors. You can see that the blue triangle is tiny bit darker, but that is a good match. So I will go back to Illustrator now. I will select all of these, and I will, with my black arrow tool, I will click and I will drag. I'm holding down my Options key. I release. Then I am going to twirl this around. Hold down my my Shift key, so that it constrains, the movement constrains to the grid. Release my mouse before I release the Options key. And there I've duplicated that. I'm going to select this blue, and I'm going to open this up. And I had 0% black. Now I'm going to put 25% black and hit return key, and it gets darker. I'm going to do the same for the background. It's darker, and I'm going to save this file. Save. I'll go back to Photoshop, and you can see, voila, I've got a really good match in terms of the value here. I will go back to the Illustrator file, and I'm going to copy this one more time. Now I need to copy both of those objects, so I will click and I will drag onto both of those objects. I will drag them down, and I will hold down the Option key and release. I'm going to twirl this one around like this, holding down the Shift key to constrain the movement, release. Now I will open up the color picker of the blue square, and I will say this is 50%. And I will do the same here. And I will save this file, save. I will go to Photoshop. And again, the match is very good. And then lastly, I will select these two here by clicking and dragging onto those so that I touch those like that. I will pull those down, and I will hold down the Shift key to constrain the proportion, or to constrain the movement. I'll hold down the Options key to copy, and I will turn them, holding down the Shift key and release. I will hit the blue square, and I'll go to 75%. And the red square, I'll go to 75%. Save this file. And now I will be done.